Another question for you, changing our focus on the piano business, the piano industry at present. Where would you say overall the piano industry in America and I guess globally is, and where do you see it going in the near term?
Unfortunately, the piano industry has been dropping. And the reason I think is because my main thinking over the years is not been as an owner, but as a salesperson. And it's not trying to be, on everybody about it, but owners don't really care. I mean, they're interested in the bottom line and the dollar and the percentage and the margin and everything else, but they're not really concerned with making their company be more community active. I mean, they talk about it, but to really do it and to really, become involved with the community takes not just the owner, but the manager and the salespeople. Everybody.
Piano dealers.
Piano dealers in general. They sometimes become too big, and so they have to make a percentage, and they have to do that. And so sometimes their percentages are too high, or they don't take into consideration. Like every once in a while, we'll have people that can't afford a piano, so I'll talk to a teacher and say, if they'll pay for the lessons, I'll give them a piano. And we keep a small group of pianos for that we donate to people. And people talk about all the things they do in the way of promoting music or things that they give, but do they really do that? I mean, they talk about it, but do they really promote the music? And so I think, and it's been proven over the years, as the piano manufacturers, before it was a privilege to build a better piano, and now it's price point, regardless of quality.
You mean the whole industry?
The whole industry.
In terms of what they're constructing.
Exactly. I was in the Music Trades magazine about 10 years ago, and I said, this industry is going in the wrong direction because they're now building pianos, and they've gone to, it doesn't matter what it's built like, it's what it's looked like. So they're not concerned with the woods and the seasoning and the quality of the piano. Down the line, they're interested in just getting a piano sold at the best margin possible. I think that's the fault of the industry now. I mean, people talk about pianos and how they're, one builds one better than the other one. It really comes down to how the piano's built, the woods that it's made out of, how the woods are seasoned, and then the end result is the quality control.
So how do you get around that with the piano lines that you offer?
Well, the reason that we picked the piano lines we picked from the beginning were because they were still family-owned companies. So Kawai is a third-generation family-owned company. I've been in the factory a half a dozen times. I knew Shigeru Kawai, who was the second generation, and I met him, and we used to go to karaoke bars in Japan in the 80s, because growing up in Kansas, I could play the old 50s and 60s rock and roll. And so instead of using the cassettes back then, we would take the cover off the piano and we'd go to karaoke bars and hang out. So, and at that time, his son was just a teenager, Hirotaka Kawai, who now runs the company, which is pretty interesting. I mean, and so family-owned company. And then Schimmel is another line that we carry. It's fourth generation. Their 125th anniversary is this year, and in fact, we were going to be there for it this weekend. But grandbaby number 3 is coming, so I was next on the trip. So, but they're a fourth generation family-owned company. Very good quality. I mean, I have been to the Hamburg factories for Steinway in Germany and a couple of other factories, and their building and their manufacturing is all so precise. It's so exact. I mean, the woods, the way they're cut, the way they're milled, it would be like a piece of furniture. Even though it's glued to another piece, it's like putting the best of the best together to build the best. And that's the difference, I think, between it and pianos that are not handmade. There's a difference in it, because like a lot of people nowadays are talking, handmade, and there's a difference. And the difference, the only way you can see that difference is actually to be there. You can see how woods are cut and how the woods are placed and how they're made, how they're seasoned and what types of woods. And that's, I think, the advantage I've had over the years is going to all these factories more than once. Yamaha about a half a dozen times also, and seeing how they actually build, and then talking to the people, talking to the service people. which you don't get to talk to in the U.S. because a lot of the U.S. service people, a lot of these manufacturers have never been overseas, so they really don't, know the concept of how the piano is being built and how it works. The only place you can do that is actually, Steinway, New York. And so where you actually go there and meet the great people at the factory too. So
Sure, I've been there a couple times
Yeah.
and stuff.